Okay, do you have an unconventional education? An unconventional education versus a formal education. I think both are important. Welcome to my world where all is well. I'm the thinker who thinks the thoughts that create the things. I'm also the proud queen chief of 3 Kings. Today is Tuesday, October the 10th, 2023, and it's currently 14:47 hours. I'm continuing reading my book, in Unconventional Education, chapter 17, Resisting Happiness by Matthew Kelly. I'm still enjoying this book. This chapter is about unconventional education. You ever heard of a smart fool or someone who's they have no common sense? Now, I have a bachelor's degree in forensic psychology with a minor in organizational leadership and management. So I'm not knocking formal education, but in unconventional education, I believe it's just important. That's when you are educated in unconventional ways. You can be educated just by meditating and letting God teach you something. It's amazing what you can learn in the silence. You can be educated just by talking to people who've been through and gone through what you're going through, or what you've been through, or what you're going to go through. You can be educated by listening to your doctors. You can be educated by listening to your pastor. You can be educated by listening to your therapist or your siblings. You can be even educated by children. Children see things in a different perspective that we see things. Life teaches us lessons every day. If we could just pay attention to those lessons, we won't have to go through those lessons over and over again. And that's another way to get an unconventional education. Books are a form of unconventional. It's amazing what all you can learn just by reading books. I love reading books. I've been reading them for years. I don't feel like I'm more or less educated than anybody else. It's just the way it's a habit that I like, so I read. And I also meditate. I believe that I probably can learn a lot more just by being in the silence and listening to God than I could by reading books. I really believe, because I really believe everything that I'm reading in a book comes from God. God puts His wisdom, knowledge, understanding through man to write these books that I'm reading. And don't only listen to God, but trust God. A lot of us question God. Now, I don't have a problem with questioning God. A lot of people say don't ever question God. I don't think we should question God as far as if God knows what He's doing or if God exists. It's a difference between questioning God, and asking God a question. And I don't think there's any issues with asking God a question. It's all throughout the Bible. I believe that our human experience in this world is constantly expanding and it's constantly challenging us. Like right now, they have this AI technology out. I don't know too much about it, but I've been on this earth 44 years, and it's like every year they come out with something new that I got to learn about. I literally heard someone say the AI is of the devil. A lot of people call everything or everybody they don't understand the devil for some reason. I have not heard about anything about AI that would make me want to call it the devil. But that's why context is powerful, because you can go to a church around the corner and listen to your pastor and you'll call AI the devil. Then you can go listen to a scientist. AI is the greatest thing that ever been invented. And then you can go to a social media creator and they say AI is very helpful. So that's why context is important. If you want to learn more about AI, listen to it more from a spiritual perspective and go to what the God in you is telling you to do with it. One man's trash is another man's treasure, and that is true not only of things but also of experiences and problems. Something that's unique to one person may be common to another person. And I think a lot of just saying one man's trash is another man's treasure. Well, I get this thing from one, it might be unique to one person, but common to other people. It made me think about India. I saw this documentary about hair. A lot of Indian women, when they cut their hair, they throw it away. But they stop throwing it away and selling it to people. And it's trash to them. But they sell it to people who do hair, or stylists, or what you call them, hair designers, or people who make wigs and stuff. And people over here make money. It's treasure over here in America to something that might be trash. In India, it's considered treasure over here. And once we learn and expand our minds to different things, we'll see things from a different perspective. And I think it'll give us greater wisdom, knowledge, and understand as people on this earth as we interact with different cultures. I like also reading biographies and autobiographies. One of the latest biographies I read was about Patti LaBelle. It was a good biography. I like reading. I like looking in, reading about other people's lives and how they've lived, because it give me a different perspective in my own situation, what's going on in my own life. We're all just passing through this life, and we can make this life comfortable or uncomfortable. But I believe we can learn a lot about our lives just by reading and experiencing other people, what they've gone through in their lives. And we can also, through God's help, bring joy to people's lives. Okay, loneliness is one of the great evils of our age. I don't necessarily see loneliness as a great evil. There's a lot you can do with loneliness. A lot of people don't like to be lonely or experience loneliness, but it depends on what you do with it. If you are alone, not being alone and experiencing loneliness is two different things. But even in your moment of experiencing loneliness, you can decide what to do with that experience. You can decide to get a book. You can decide to go outside. You can decide to change your atmosphere and do something about it. Or you can decide to meditate, pray, read the Bible. Life is always teaching us lessons. What lesson is God trying to teach you through the experiences of your life at this moment? Reflect on that. So this was in Unconventional Education, Resisting Happiness by Matthew Kelly. I really enjoyed this chapter. Hope you get a chance to read the book. Thank you so much for liking. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for turning on that notification bell. I love you. I appreciate you. I thank God for you. All is well. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And may my whole life prove that God is good.